much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. Well, first off, we welcome Richard and Ian. Welcome to the show. Now, where have you two come from?
We've come from Warsaw in the West Midlands.
Warsaw in the West Midlands. And what do you do, Richard?
Well, I work in a restaurant. I do TV extra work along with Ian. In
the restaurant?
No, clearly not. And I also dance for a drag queen called Glamour, the Spanish Experience.
Glamour. What is so quintessentially Spanish about Glamour's Experience?
He's from Gran Canaria.
Right.
He is. And he's got two sexy male dancers, and I'm one of them.
Of all the things you do, which do you prefer? The glamour, the waiting, or the TV extra work?
Do you know what? It's a good mix, and I like doing all three, to be honest.
Have we ever had the pleasure of working together?
No.
Not on a show with you, I don't think. No.
Not unless. I mean, we've done Casualty. I was in the bus crash and the Toy Factory fire.
The Toy Factory fire?
We was both in a gun massacre in a nightclub once.
Yeah.
And then we
were run over by a dumper truck.
in a quarry.
It's great to have you here. Very best of luck to the pair of you.
Thank you.
And next we welcome Steve and Kathy. Now, where have you come from?
We've come from Swansea.
From Swansea in Wales. And how do you two know each other?
Well, this is my lovely wife, Kathy. We met 8 years ago. We got married 6 years ago on the same day as Camilla and Charles.
Same day as Camilla and Charles. What do you do, Kathy?
I work for a large retail store.
How about you, Steve?
I work in IT for a global computer firm. It's a type of sauce as well, brown sauce.
All right, yes, I know the ones.
That's the one, yeah.
I know the very people you mean.
Yep.
Oh.
Very good.
Yeah, you got, yes. You know what I mean.
I'm trying to work it out.
Yes.
Kathy, what would you like to see come up?
Films, nature. There's a lovely nature reserve by our house, which I take
thought
the
you said
children
Nietzsche, and I was thinking you were talking about philosophy. I was thinking, wow, that is quite niche.
Pacific.
Yeah, but there's a nature reserve near.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Well, I of course have no idea about anything, but least of all about what's coming up in the programme. But very best of luck. Next, we welcome back Diane and Mark. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final. This is your last chance. Remind us what happened.
We got to the head-to-head. We got 2 pointless answers, but we weren't very good on the characters in Greece.
Oh, that's right. Pink ladies and T-birds. Diane, last time you revealed to us that you are a counsellor, but you moonlight as a sex therapist.
I do, yes. Yes. When I've nothing better to do, yes.
That's also a counselling job. That's not a...
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. It's not a hands-on job, is it?
No.
Good. I just wanted to tidy that one up.
It does involve toys, though.
It does involve toys?
Yeah, sometimes.
Very good. Well, very best of luck to you this afternoon. It's lovely to have you back.
Thank you.
And finally, we welcome back Lynn and Glennis. You were also on the show last time. Remind us what happened with you.
Well, we were knocked out in the 3rd round. Unfortunately, I got my Dallas, 2nd round, I should say. I got my Dallases mixed up with my dynasties, so I knew I was there or somewhere.
You were,
so
you were almost
there.
Oh, dear. Lynn, have you forgiven her?
Yes, of course I have.
Now, obviously, we discovered last time that you both play golf. What else do you like to do, Glennis?
We run an investment club, and the common denominator is golf. And we meet once a month and we discuss stocks and shares. We don't put very much money in each month, but we do buy and sell stocks and shares.
And who advises you?
Nobody. We do our research.
Well, good luck with that, and very best of luck this afternoon. We'll be finding out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. Here's Richard.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you.
Should be a good show today. Again, we've got 2 returning pairs, as we have done for the last few shows. Diane and Mark were very, very strong last time, just got knocked out in the head-to-head. And Lynn and Glennis, I think, were very unlucky. So 2 good pairs. Our first question today, you know, every series we have one question that just knocks all the others out of the park. Last series we had types of lettuce. That was our sort of stellar round.
I don't think anyone will top that.
Well, I think round 1 today is pretty good. If you liked types of lettuce, you'll like round 1, I think. And if you didn't, well...
It's one of our gala rounds, is it, this one?
I think so. It's one of those things that, you know, I suspect you may be carried aloft from the building when you announce it by cheering crowds.
OK. Very good. Thank you, Richard. Well, we put all our questions to 100 people before this show. But this is pointless, of course, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they can. What everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave. And each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £5,000. Right, let's play Pointless. In the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. OK, our first category this afternoon is Geology. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many types of rock as they could. It's types of rock. Richard.
Everyone always says they want types of rock. Finally, it's here. Everybody at home, strap yourselves in. Let's all enjoy this together. Yeah, all the correct answers in this round are types of rock. That's igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic. Very, very best of luck.
Those are the rocks.
Them's the rocks.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Now then, Richard and Ian, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. In this round, we're going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers on the board in each pass you'll be relieved to hear. Your first set of 7 answers reads like this. Moki, Essexite, Wacky, Pumice, Obsidian, Shearer, Granite. I shall read those one more time. Moki, Essexite, Wacky, Pumice, Obsidian, Shearer, Granite. Now, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, but be very careful because at least one of those answers is also wrong. Pick an incorrect one and you will score the maximum of 100 points. Now then, Richard. This is a festival round, isn't it? What about this? Rock! Types of rock, Richard!
Types of rock. I was thinking I was going to do all right because I used to have this thing when I was a kid called Treasures of the Earth, and it was about rocks and geology and things. But when you put them up there, geez. I'm going to go for one that I can kind of relate to pumice stone, so I'll probably say pumice is the answer I'm going to give.
You're going to give pumice as your answer. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said pumice. It's right. Still going down. 11. Look at that. Very good. It's a great score. 11 for pumice.
Yeah, well done, Richard. Pumice stone's formed from volcanic lava, so it's full of gas bubbles, which is why it floats. Right, it's a rock that floats. This round's fun already, isn't it?
It is just
a rock that floats? Come on. What more do you want?
Kathy, rocks. We're looking at types of rocks.
Well, I was going to say pumice, because I know Steve would say that's what I need for my feet. So...
Sorry, just got to stop there. Does she?
I think she does, yeah.
OK,
yes.
Carry on.
Careful what you say. There's one I know there's a definite, so I'm going to go for what I hope's a pointless answer. Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Sounds like a rock.
Obsidian. OK, well, let's see if obsidian's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said obsidian. It's right. Well, pumice scored 11. What's obsidian going to score? Down it goes. Still going down. That's a brilliant answer, Kathy. Obsidian scores you 1 point. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Kathy. It's a naturally occurring volcanic glass, obsidian.
I did know
In
that.
cardiac surgery, they use obsidian blades. Some of the sharpest knives in the world are obsidian knives. See?
There you are.
More rock facts.
It's
obsidian blades.
Brilliant. Diane and Mark, in the first round of your last pointless show, you gave us not 1 but 2 pointless answers. Diane, I will be bitterly disappointed if you don't follow up with that.
I really
least.
should know this. I really should know these.
Why should you?
Because I used to do geology years
Did you?
ago.
To what level did you do geology?
I did A-level geology. But it's a long time ago, and I don't know half of those, but I know one, and it's so obvious. So, I'm going to take a gamble. Shearer.
You're going to go for Shearer. There it is. One up from the bottom. Shearer, you're saying. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Oh, bad luck, Diane. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. I'm very sorry. Richard will tell us why it's wrong.
Yeah, sorry, Diane. Shearer is it's Rock Hudson's real name. I'm afraid. Did they not do that in A-level geology?
No, they didn't know.
Did they not? It was Roy Shearer Jr.
Oh dear.
Back to the rocks. Back to the rocks. Now then, Lynn, we are looking for types of rock. Nobody's found the pointless answer. Let's see if you can find it now.
Well, I know granite's going to be, should be on there, but I'm not certain about
Granite
the other
is on
three.
there.
Well, no, I mean, should be a rock. But should I go for something a bit more adventurous? No, I'll go for granite.
OK, we're going to go for granite. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said granite. $63. Not a bad score, Lynn. 63 for granite.
Yeah, very common in the UK, granite, and a fairly big score, but as you say, once you'd seen 100, it's not a bad tactic. Let's take a look at the rest of the board, though. Essexite is a real rock. Well done if you said that. That was a pointless answer. Named after Essex County in Massachusetts, where it was first discovered. And out of the other two, Moki and Wacky, one of those is a very abundant rock, forms a whole part of the backbone of New Zealand, a lot of the British Isles, and the other one is a character from Fraggle Rock. Which do you think is which?
I'm going to go for Wacky being the real rock.
Is exactly right. Wacky is a pointless answer. Well done if you said that. And Moki, a character from Fraggle Rock. So that was an incorrect answer.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Kathy and Steve, lovely low score there with 1. Richard and Ian looking pretty good on 11. Then up to 63, Lynn and Glennis. And then Diane and Mark, way out in front there. So, Mark, you're going to have to answer brilliantly in the next pass if you're going to make it through to the next round. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more answers on the board. Remember, we are looking for types of rock. And we have got dolomite, basalt, carpus, limestone, slag hoople, soapstone, sandstone. I'll read those one more time. Dolomite, basalt, carpus, limestone, slag hoople, soapstone, sandstone. Now, again, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless and at least one of those answers is incorrect. Try and avoid those incorrect ones, like you need to be told. Glennis, you're on 63. The high scorers on 100 are Mark and Diane. If you can score 36 or less, you are through to the next round.
My daughter, who's in the audience, bought me a chess set, and 2 of the possible answers are there, and I can, for the life of me, can't decide which one it is, but I'm going to go with soapstone.
Right, you're going to say soapstone. There's your red line. Get below that red line, you are through to the next round. Soapstone, is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? It's right. And you're through to the next round. Very well done, Glennis. Very well done. 1 point for soapstone takes your total up to 64. Rich, soapstone.
Well played, Glennis, safely through. Yeah, it's a metamorphic stone. The statue of Christ the Redeemer in Rio, that's coated in soapstone. Do you know the difference between a stone and a rock?
No.
I'm not going to waste your time telling you. We'll be here for half an hour.
I wouldn't waste my time. In a word?
In a 3 words, I don't know.
OK, good. Right, Mark and Diane, you are on 100 points. You are the high scorers. Mark, you have to answer as brilliantly as you possibly can and
no
hope
pressure.
that's enough to get you through. Otherwise, we have to say goodbye to you at the end of this round.
OK. I don't know whether to take a risk or to play it safe.
Well, you're the high scorers on 100. The other scorers are Ian and Richard on 11. They're a long way behind you. And Steve and Kathy on 1. It's either pointless or bust, I would say. Even then, it might be pointless and bust. Sorry, with the voice of doom here, but...
Carpus.
Carpus, you are saying? This is a complete guess, but a little bit of logic. Complete guess.
Complete guess.
Okay. Carpus, you're saying. What do you think, Diane?
I have no idea.
Doesn't
I've
this
never
come
heard
your
of that
geology
one.
A-level?
Doesn't
Don't
it?
you
I know
remember
most
Carpus?
of them.
Wasn't that one of your set rocks?
Yeah. My geology teacher's turned over in his grave.
Appropriately, somehow. Anyway, there we are. Okay, Carpus, you say. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Carpus. Oh, no! From double pointless to double incorrect.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Unfortunately, that is an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points, and that takes your total up to 200. Bad luck, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. Alvin Carpus was the longest ever inmate at the Rock, Alcatraz, I'm afraid.
Thank you very much. Steve, you and Kathy are through to the next round, whatever happens. You'll never be able to overtake the top score of Mark and Diane, the impressive 200 that they've notched up. Bearing all that in mind, maybe see if you can find the pointless answer on that board. There might be 2.
This really isn't my best subject, but as we're already through, I'll probably take a risk and say slag hoople.
Slag hoople?
Yeah.
It's certainly the most fun word on that board. Is it a rock? Let's find out. Slag hoople, is it right? How many people said it? Bad luck, Steve. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which scores you 100 points, taking your total up to 101. Slag hoople, Richard.
How dare you? Yeah, not a rock. Slag hoople is Wilma Flintstone's maiden name. She was previously Wilma Slag hoople. It's a beautiful name.
It is a pretty name. A pretty name. Now then, Ian. Ian, we've had 2 incorrect answers. I can't believe there are any more incorrect answers on that board, but there is most definitely at least 1 pointless answer. And you're through. So why not? Why not find that pointless answer?
I think dolomite, isn't that a mountain range somewhere? And they're made of rocks, aren't they? And then there's basalt, limestone, sandstone. I think they're all rocks, but I don't know which one would be the pointless one. I'll go for dolomite then, I think.
Go for dolomite. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said dolomite. It's right. Very well done, Ian. I have a feeling this might go a long way down. Yes! Very well done. Thank you. Well, you've triumphed with dolomite there. A pointless answer, which adds £250 to our jackpot, taking the total up to 5,250. It scores you nothing, leaves your total at 11. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Ian, and well worked out as well. The Italian Alps are the Dolomites, and they are indeed made of rock. Very good. Let's fill in the rest of the boards. That was a pointless answer. Well done if you said dolomite. Sandstone would have scored you fairly hefty 41. Then limestone would have scored you 35, and basalt slightly lower on 16.
Thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score. Oh, Diane, it's you and Mark.
Really awesome,
dear, oh dear. And you with your geology A-level and all that.
I've got loads of rock around the house as well.
Rock around the house?
I collect rocks.
You... Really? Do any of them have their names on them?
No, obviously don't know what they are.
Do you know the difference between a rock and a stone?
That's a good question, actually. Stone isn't a term that geologists use. They only ever use rock. Rock is something that's deposited and metamorphosed and changed and extruded from the surface, and a stone is something in a river that's sort of rushed around and stuff.
So there you go. A stone is something in a river, and a rock is everything else. Finally, we have our answer.
There we are. Well, Diane, thank you so much for putting us in the picture, and thank you so much, both of you, for being such brilliant contestants. Thanks so much for playing. Excellent. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, obviously, there's only room for 2 pairs in the head-to-head, so one of the teams will be leaving us at the end of this round. OK, our round 2 category this afternoon is pop music. Pop music. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, so our round 2 question concerns song titles which are questions. Song titles which are questions. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 song titles, all of which are questions in each pass. We've asked 100 people which artist or group first had a hit with those songs. If you give us an obscure answer, you're going to score fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, though, you're going to score 100 points. See how many of those 12 you can get at home.
OK, there we are. We are giving you the song titles that are questions. You have to tell us who had a hit with them first. And we have got What's New Pussycat? How Do I Live? Who's David? Does Your Mother Know? Why Does It Always Rain on Me? And Wouldn't It Be Good? I'll read those one more time. What's New Pussycat? How Do I Live? Who's David? Does Your Mother Know? Why Does It Always Rain on Me? Wouldn't It Be Good? Now, Richard.
Yes.
Song titles with question marks at the end of them. How's that looking to you? How many of those do you know?
1, 2 that I definitely know. I think I'm going to go for Who's David? And I believe it was Busted that sung Who's David.
Who's David? Busted.
By Busted, yeah.
Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Busted. Very well done, Richard. That's great. Very well done indeed. 4 for Busted. Richard.
Yeah, very well done, Richard. #1 single in 2004 by the much-missed Busted.
Maybe they'll come back. Maybe they'll reform, be touring stadiums.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would love that. Yes, please.
Yes, please. Now, Kathy, we have a list of songs behind me. 5 of them left on that list. Busted has gone. What are you thinking?
I'm going to take a punt and hope I'm right with How Do I Live, Leanne Rimes.
How Do I Live, Leanne Rimes. Steve thinks that's right.
I think so, yep.
Very good. OK, well, let's find out. How Do I Live? Is it Leanne Rimes? And if it is, how many people knew that answer? It's right. Down it goes, 11. Very well done, Kathy. Not a bad score at all for Leanne Rimes.
Yeah, well played, Kathy. Big hit in the UK, but a massive hit in the US. One of the biggest selling singles of all time in US chart history.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So then, Lynn, we are looking for the first people to have had a hit with these songs with a question in them.
The last one, I'm almost certain of. I've got it singing in my head and I'm just not 100% certain whether I should say who I think it is. So I'm going to go for What's New Pussycat and Tom Jones.
What's New Pussycat, Tom Jones, you're saying, is that right? And if it is, how many people knew that answer? $66. A safe answer, but an expensive one. Tom Jones, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Lynn. Was never a top 10 hit, that Tom Jones song in the UK, but was nominated for Best Song Oscar, written by Burt Bacharach. What were you going to say for Wouldn't It Be Good? Just
The Beach Boys.
Ah, so you would have fallen into a little trap. That's Wouldn't It Be Nice? Wouldn't It Be Good?
I knew it was to start with, but I didn't know whether it went into
so
that.
a very, very good decision.
Yeah.
I think it was Nick Kershaw was Wouldn't It Be Good?
Yes.
From the 80s, would have scored you 19 points. Alexander, do you know those other two?
Travis.
Travis is Why Does It Always Rain on Me? Yeah, that would have scored you 23. ABBA, exactly right. Would have scored you slightly more, would have scored you 37. Best answer on the board, actually. We had first Who's David by Busted.
Very good. Well, thanks, Richard. We're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at those scores. Richard, brilliant answer there with Busted. That's put you in a very, very strong position. On 4, then we got up to 11, Kathy and Steve. That's a great score there. Then up to 66 for Lynn and Glennis. Glennis, you're going to have to try really hard to find an obscure answer on the next pass to make sure you can get through to the head-to-head. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more song titles on the board, and we have got Should I Stay or Should I Go? Have I the Right? Can We Fix It? Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? Who Let the Dogs Out? Where Do Broken Hearts Go? I will read those one more time. Should I Stay or Should I Go? Have I the Right? Can We Fix It? Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? Who Let the Dogs Out? Where Do Broken Hearts Go? Now remember, we are looking for the artists who recorded these songs, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. So Glennis, you're the high scorers on 66. Your only way of surviving through to the head-to-head is to find a really low-scoring answer.
This is probably the worst questions I could have, and there's only one that I know really well, which is, have I the right? And I'm going to say the Applejacks. I don't know why, but I am.
You're saying the Applejacks?
Yes.
Lynn doesn't look too happy with that.
No.
Is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? Bad luck, Glennis. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points, which takes your total up to an unbeatable 166. Richard?
Yeah, sorry, Glennis, I won't give you the right answer now, just in case any of the others want to have a go at that one.
So, Steve, you are through to the next round, whatever happens, so why not see if you can find a lovely low-scoring answer?
Right, there's only 2 up there that I really know. My son's favourite song is up there, and he's 5. And I think Can We Fix It was Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Bob the Builder. It's right. Yes, we can. 64. That scores you, taking your total up to 75. Richard?
Yeah, Christmas #1, that was in the year 2000. As entertainment.
Christmas number
one, yeah. When people complain about X Factor always hogging Christmas #1 these years, you don't know how lucky you are. Some of the things we had to suffer.
Yeah, good point. So then, Ian, you are through to the head-to-head, whatever happens.
I'll go for Where Do Broken Hearts Go, Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, you're saying, for Where Do Broken Hearts Go? Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Whitney Houston. It's right. Very good answer. Lovely low score there. 2 scores in single figures. Takes your total up to 13.
Yeah, good answer, Ian. It's a 7th consecutive US #1, Where Do Broken Hearts Go. Let's clear up the rest of the board. Now, Glennis, you were very, very unlucky, I think, with Have I the Right? It's actually a pointless answer.
Honeycombs.
Nobody...
The
Say it again?
honeycombs.
The honeycombs, exactly right. Not the Applejacks, the honeycombs. Well done if you said that at home. Pointless answer would have added £250 to the jackpot. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? Culture Club. 58. Should I Stay or Should I Go, Alexander?
It's The Clash.
The Clash, exactly right. 27. Final question. Who Let the Dogs Out? It was the Baha Men. 13 points. Well done if you said Baha Men. But the honeycombs, best answer of all. Really, really unlucky, but very well done if you got it at home.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, it's Lynn and Glennis.
Oh, we won't fall out.
Dear,
We won't fall out.
dear.
Playing golf together tomorrow now.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Very, very good.
That's
Don't
my
even
going
mention the Applejacks. Well, you made it to round 2 last time.
Yeah,
You made it to
round
round 2
2
this time, which is not an altogether empty achievement, it has to be said. But I'm afraid this is where we say goodbye. You've been
you.
fantastic contestants. Thanks so much
Thanks a
for
lot.
playing. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well, very well done. Richard and Ian, Steve and Kathy, you've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £5,250. Now, you're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. Here's your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Olympic host cities beginning with A. as they could. Olympic host cities beginning with A.
Yeah, we're looking for any city that's hosted a summer or winter Olympics from the first one in 1896 all the way through to the Winter Olympics of 2010. There are 5 cities in all, so see if you can get all 5 of them at home.
OK, thanks, Richard. Now, Richard and Ian, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. We are looking for Olympic host cities beginning with A. OK, we have an answer.
OK, we know 2 that we can think of, but we're going to go with what we thought was the oldest, which is Atlanta.
Atlanta. OK, you're saying Atlanta. Steve and Kathy, what do you want to say?
I think Belgium has hosted it once, and it wasn't in Brussels, but it was in Antwerp. So I think we're going to go for that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Antwerp? You're going to say Antwerp. Now, is that a guess, or is that...
No, I think we know it.
You think that's right?
Yeah,
OK, very good. So
Yeah.
we have Antwerp. Atlanta from Richard and Ian, Antwerp from Steve and Kathy. In the order they were given. Let's see, Atlanta, is that right? And if it is, how many people said it? $33. 33 for Atlanta. Steve and Kathy, you are going for Antwerp. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. 33 is what you've got to beat. Very good. Down it goes. Yep, you've done it. Wow, 6. There's a great score. 6 beats 33. So after the first question, Steve and Kathy are up 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. Very well played indeed. The 1920 Summer Olympics were held in Antwerp. It's the only time they've ever been held in Belgium. There was an answer that would have beaten it and one that would have tied with it. Let's take a look at all 5, see if you've got all 5 at home. The best answer of all was the Winter Olympics were held in France in Albertville, would have scored you 2 points. There's Antwerp and Amsterdam, both would have scored you 6. Atlanta we've heard on 33 and Athens right at the top on 55.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, here is your second question. Richard and Ian, you have to win this question to stay in the game. OK, here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Labour Party leaders who have not been Prime Minister as they could. Labour Party leaders who have not been Prime Minister. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any elected leader of the Labour Party from 1945 all the way through to 2011, please, who's never been a Prime Minister. Obviously, we won't accept deputies or stand-ins, just any elected leader of the Labour Party who has not been a Prime Minister.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Steve and Kathy, you go first this time.
Well, do you know any? I think I know one. I think there was one in the 1960s that I think he died before there was an election. I think it was Hugh Gaitskell.
Hugh Gaitskell.
Yeah.
Richard and Ian.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Richard's not really hot on politics.
I'm completely awful, so I'd leave it in your hands, honestly.
And the only one that I can think of, potentially, is Neil Kinnock. Might not be the best answer to give, we might be out, but it's the only one I'm going to give. It's a bit of a safer bet.
OK, well, it's an answer you know, so you're going to say Neil Kinnock. So we have Hugh Gaitskell, and we have Neil Kinnock. Steve and Kathy have gone with Hugh Gaitskell. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Very well done, it's right. I think this is an excellent answer, Steve. Down it goes. Oh, look at that, brilliant. Very, very well done. 2 points. Now, Richard and Ian, you need to win this point if you're going to stay in the game. Neil Kinnock, is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? Good luck. Yes, it's right. He's going down. 28. Well, I'm afraid 2 beats 28, which means after only 2 questions, Steve and Kathy are through to the final 2-0. Richard.
Yeah, poor Richard and Ian there. You came up against a man very much on form, Antwerp and Hugh Gaitskell. It's the best answer up there, actually. There's 5 answers in all. Let's take a look at all of them. There's Hugh Gaitskell on 2, Michael Foot with 22, Ed Miliband, of course, that would have scored you 23, John Smith, 27, Kinnock, actually the top answer there, 28. Very well done if you got all 5 of those.
Thanks very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head round, I'm afraid, it's Richard and Ian. We didn't really give you what you wanted, did we? Actually, no, you've had some pop music.
Yeah, I don't think politics is my thing, though, to be honest. And Olympics, well, at sport, so it's, again, out my comfort zone. But at least we got 2 correct answers, I suppose, which is better than none.
So when you're back next time, what would you like to see come up then?
Australian soaps, to be honest. I'd probably nail it, to be fair. Ian, what about you?
I don't know, maybe British soaps?
Next time, let's hope we'll see lots more of you and hope you'll go all the way through to the final. But meanwhile, thanks very much for playing. Great. Thank you. But for Steve and Kathy, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £5,250. Well, congratulations, Steve and Kathy. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy, so very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £5,250. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we've had one pointless answer on the show today. You just have to find one more now, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are classical music, fashion, pop legends.
Well,
The first one's out.
it's not going to be classical music, is it?
No.
That's not our best subject.
Not at all.
And do you know a lot about fashion? I don't know.
Not really. Pop legends?
I think it has to be pop legends. Yeah.
Pop legends it is. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Beatles solo UK top 40 singles as they could. Richard.
Yeah, looking for any single that reached the UK top 40 for which either John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison or Ringo Starr received a solo credit. Not looking for anything in duets or groups that they were in, just any solo single released by a former Beatle, please, that reached the UK top 40. And that's prior to April 2011.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £5,250 jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Well, do Paul McCartney ones first?
That awful frog chorus. Would that have gone in the top 40?
Probably, yeah. I think that was number 1, wasn't it?
Right.
Any more Paul McCartney ones? I can't.
What about that film he did? Broadway or...
Oh, yeah. I can't think of any songs from there. I know a couple of John Lennon ones.
Right.
Mind Games, was that one?
Yeah.
One of his.
What about George Harrison?
George Harrison had that. What was that big hit he had?
My Sweet Lord?
My Sweet Lord. Should we go for that as well? Mind
I don't know if
Games.
that'll be pointless. What about John?
That's the
And
ones
then
you can
put
feel.
more John Lennon ones?
I don't know. Did he have a song Mother? Was that one of his? Would that have been a hit?
Try it.
5 seconds.
Try that one, is it?
Try it.
Try those 3, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK, your time is up. We were looking for solo UK top 40 hits released by ex-members of the Beatles. I now need your 3 answers.
What's the first John Lennon one we'll go for? Is it
Mind Games.
Mind Games?
Mind Games.
I think he did one called Mother.
Mother.
And I think we'll go for,
George Harrison's, it?
yeah, My Sweet Lord by George Harrison.
My Sweet Lord.
Yeah.
OK, there are your 3 answers. Of those 3, which do you think is the best shot at a pointless answer?
I think Mother.
OK, we'll put Mother last.
Yeah.
And which is your least likely?
I think My Sweet Lord, is it?
Yeah.
OK,
My Sweet
so
Lord.
My Sweet Lord, Mind Games,
Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah.
OK, so we'll put them on the board in that order, and here they are. My Sweet Lord, Mind Games, and Mother. All the M's. OK, so we were looking for ex-Beatles solo top 40 singles. You said this was your least confident answer. You only have to find one pointless answer, remember, to win that £5,250 jackpot. Let's see how many people said My Sweet Lord. My Sweet Lord. This has to be right, and it has to be pointless. Good luck. Very promising start. OK, this is your first shot at the jackpot, £5,250. If this goes down to 0, you will be leaving with that money immediately. 13. Well, unfortunately, that's not a pointless answer, but you knew it wasn't going to be pointless. You put that one first. It's looking quite good for the other two, I think.
Might be, yeah.
Now, you only have 2 more chances to win that jackpot. £5,250. What would you do with that?
Oh, nice holiday for the kids.
Yeah, well, I think you've got, you know,
Yeah.
there's a country you want to go back to, isn't
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
I was born in Canada and I've never been back.
Never been back?
Never been back since I was
Oh, you have to
3,
go back if you
so
win.
I'd love to
Yeah,
go back.
you must,
Yeah.
you must. Very best of luck. We are looking for Beatles solo top 40 hits. Your next answer was Mind Games. Mind Games. This has to be correct and it has to be pointless. Mind Games, is it right? How many people said it? Okay, it's right. It's right. That was the first thing. The second is it has to go down to 0. £5,250 riding on this down to single figures. Oh, look at that! You're off to Canada. Very well done. That's brilliant. Oh, that's superb. Well done, you. Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic. Well done.
Flabbergasted.
Oh, congratulations. Well, you've done it. You did it with your second answer as well. You found that brilliant pointless answer, which means you go home with our jackpot of £5,250. That's just wonderful. Well, off you go to Canada with all our best wishes and listening to Mind Games all the way, I should think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Richard, what about that?
Yeah, brilliant. Richly deserved. You barely put a foot wrong all show. It was a massive number 26 hit in 1973, Mind Games. If we'd had to go all the way to your third answer, Mother, you wouldn't have got the money because it wasn't a UK hit at all, only in the States. So Mind Games was the perfect answer. It's actually lots of pointless answers here, so I suspect people at home would have done well as well. There's a few big songs up here. Let's take a look. It was #1 in the UK and US, Just Like Starting Over by John Lennon. It was a pointless answer. Bangladesh, released by George Harrison after his charity concert. Coming Up, Paul McCartney, #1 in the States. That was pointless. No More Lonely Nights, that was from Give My Regards to Broad Street. That was pointless. Nobody Told Me, John Lennon. Once Upon a Long Ago, that was also a pointless answer. We All Stand Together, which is, of course, the Frog Chorus.
Oh, is that what it... Oh.
Yeah, would have been a pointless answer. When We Was Fab, which was George Harrison. And Wonderful Christmas Time, Paul McCartney's Christmas single, also pointless. So some big pointless answers there. I hope you got one of those at home.
Wow, well, thanks once again to our winning players, Steve and Kathy, who go away with today's jackpot of £5,250. Well done. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.